Hey guys, I'm Tara. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to give you different options that you can use for sitting in meditation. It's not uncommon that people may feel uncomfortable sitting in meditation, and you can lay down for meditation and do more like a savasana, kind of like you would do at the end of a yoga practice, but I do feel like the experience you get from lying down shavasana compared to sitting up in meditation is different. So I want to make this video to give anyone who feels uncomfortable sitting for meditation some options and different positions that you can try. There's not like one set way that you have to sit for meditation. There's a lot of options that you can play with to find what works for you. The difference between lying down for shavasana as compared to sitting up in meditation: when you lie down for shavasana, that's really good when you're really just working on relaxing your muscles, relaxing your body. But when you sit up straight, it does keep you more aware. So you're kind of more like awake, but in the meditative state. So it is a different experience. And it's also really good if you wanted to work with more like energy flow things. I find that sitting up for meditation really gives you a different experience. Also, if you find when you lay down for shavasana that you get really tired, then you may want to try sitting up to meditate. So I'm going to show you 3 different options that you can use for sitting in meditation, and we'll kind of like add props and find ways that could help you be more comfortable. So with all of these positions that I'm going to show you, what you want to make sure is that you're keeping your spine upright, so your shoulders are down and back, your shoulders are down away from your ears, so you really have a straight spine. For your neck position, you want to have the chin slightly tucked, so you can kind of even imagine like something pulling the crown of your head up, so you're really keeping the neck long as well. If you notice that sitting unsupported, you feel like your muscles in like your upper back are getting fatigued, that's totally normal. As long as it's not pain, it shouldn't be pain, but if you feel muscle fatigue, that's just because your muscles aren't used to holding you up in this position for a while, so that will get better with time. So just slowly work your way up to whatever or however long you want to sit in meditation, but just so you know, that does get better, and if it is just muscle fatigue, that won't last forever. They'll get used to it, and your muscles you won't notice the muscles basically when you're sitting in meditation. The first position is just sitting in a cross-legged position like I am now. There's so many options for this. So really you could sit with your leg crossed in so many different ways. You can actually have them crossed this way. You could have one foot in front of the other. You could stack one foot on top of the other. So you kind of could play with it and find what works for you. But I find for people that are uncomfortable in this position, the best thing to do is really to prop up your hips, and that can really help make this seated position a lot more comfortable. So I have a meditation cushion here that I'm going to use. You can use a thicker pillow, or you could stack up pillows to put underneath your sit bones, and that can work as well. I do like the meditation cushion because it does have like a nice give to it. You have the cushion here, and then you're just going to sit your sit bones up on the cushion, so now it made my hips a little bit higher, okay? And then I'm going to place my feet down in front of me in my cross-legged position. Whatever that is for you, I like to sit with one foot on top of the other, but if you want like one foot in front of the other, you can do that as well. Another option for sitting in this position is to put something underneath your feet that's a little more like cushy. So sometimes like the pressure on your bottom foot can get a little uncomfortable, like I find, at least if I'm like on a hard floor, or sometimes even just like if I'm on like a carpet, I find that pressure bothers my foot, and then sometimes my foot falls asleep. So if I put like something a little more cushiony underneath, like a blanket, you can fold up a blanket and then put that underneath my feet, that's better for me. So you could try that as well. Another option, if you have really tight hips and you find that when you sit in a cross-legged position that your legs are kind of floating up in the air, is you could take yoga blocks and kind of stick them underneath your legs to support you so that you can fully relax your legs. If you don't have yoga blocks, you could probably even fold up a pillow and kind of do the same thing here. So those are your options for sitting in easy pose, a cross-legged position for your meditation. That may make this a little more comfortable. Option 2 is to sit in kneeling. So there's a lot of different options that you can do to make kneeling more comfortable. The most basic option or most basic kneeling position is literally just sitting back onto your heels this way, and meditating like this. The only issue I find with this, if you're comfortable here, totally go for it. I like to meditate like this if I do it later in the day. If I meditate sitting like this earlier in the day, I find that it does start to bother my feet and ankles, that it's too much pressure on them. So what you can do is you can kind of prop your hips up. So you can place a block between your legs, sit back onto the block, and that might make it more comfortable for you to be sitting this way. This might not be high enough for you though, because this really only lifts you a little bit. So you could also try 2 blocks and then put this underneath your sit bones. So your knees are still bent like in that kneeling position, but now you can see that there's a space between my thigh and my foot and ankle, so the pressure isn't on there so much. So you might find that this is a little bit more comfortable. Another option is to use a bolster. So you sit with your legs on each side of the bolster, and the bolster is nice because it really is a nice shape to use for this position. Okay, so this takes even more pressure off your feet and ankles, so you still have your knees bent, but there's not so much pressure there, and you're just sitting up nice and tall. So that's another option for you. Another thing you can add into this position is if you have a blanket you can put on each side to cushion under your foot even a little more. That might also feel nice for you. So you have a lot of options that you can do with the kneeling position. Last but not least, you could also sit on a chair or you could sit on your couch, but only use your couch if it's not super soft. If it is a really soft couch, your hips will kind of sink down and it might bother your low back to sit like that for a while. So I would suggest either using a chair, or if your couch doesn't have too much give to it, then that's okay. So when you do sit, you want to sit closer to the edge so your feet are in contact with the ground. So you can see my feet are on the ground, and you're going to sit up tall and try to sit away from the back of the chair, okay? So you're still using your postural muscles to hold you up in this position, and then you're just relaxing like this and sitting and doing your meditation. So super simple for this option, but this could be a really great option if you really just feel uncomfortable sitting on the floor, you're trying to use props, move around, and you're still just not comfortable sitting there. Move to a chair, that's totally fine. There's no rule saying you need to sit on the floor to meditate. Again, when you're sitting in a chair, most important thing is that your feet are in contact with the ground, not dangling around, okay? That kind of helps keep you grounded to the earth, so even though you're not sitting on the ground, you're still getting that grounding type feeling. If all those options are just not working for you and you really just feel uncomfortable sitting and you're not able to get into that meditative state, then by all means go ahead and lay down and do a savasana instead. That's totally fine. I would rather you lay down and still do your meditation than skipping it altogether because you're uncomfortable sitting. Even laying down, you're still going to receive the amazing benefits that meditation has to offer. So that's all for today, guys. I hope you found this video helpful, and I hope that you were able to find a position that you like and that's comfortable for you to sit in your meditation. I do have 2 guided meditations here on my channel, and I will put those in the description below. I also have a 7-day free yoga experience that has some different types of meditation in there as well, so I will also put that in the description down below. With all that said, if you guys are not already subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button right below me, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys!